Marky Worthington Podcast all day.
All day.
Dream by night.
Don't buy me a drink. Just give me $10.
Oh, dude, you look sweet. Yeah, you got a big beard, dude.
Go down to the strip club with your floppy disk and turn it into a hard drive.
Yeah, right. Thrown out by Big Tony.
We're here to name names and make people feel more ashamed for shit that they're not proud of.
Me and my best friend, Marky Worthington.
Whatever it is.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. This is episode 106 with return guest on the show. I think second, third probably time.
It's the fourth.
Yeah. 3 in the past, 1 now. We're living in the present. It is Jack Taylor.
Hey guys, how you doing?
There it is. Jack, I have to give full disclosure to you and the viewers. So this is going to be a very special episode because it is currently just before 9:30 in the morning. We're recording this on the 1st of January 2024.
Yes.
Because you're visiting, and what better chance to do a podcast when you're in town?
Exactly. Thank you. I'm always keen for some podcasts.
I mean, I woke you up not but fucking 5 minutes ago, and we're doing this shit. And I also have to give full disclosure. I have had, and there's my sleep tracker, 1 hour and 33 minutes of sleep.
Wow, you must be living off coffee.
Yeah, coffee.
Caffeine is your blood now.
No, it's So with a very fine, people will get to experience this slowly grind to a halt over the next 45 minutes. But we did have time to prepare for this. Well, I did. I got some content ready for later in the show. When you were last on the show, we did a few Reddit "Am I the Arsehole" questions. I have 2 pearlers there ready for later in the show.
Okay.
But for people that haven't listened to the previous episodes, I usually do advice questions with you because throughout my entire life, and to give the background, Jack and I grew up together down the south coast.
Many years ago.
Yeah, and he was the level-headed friend that I knew that would tell me no matter how much it would, even if it meant that I was in the wrong, you would tell me the rightful answer to who was in the wrong in the question, which I feel like is selfish for me not to share that with the internet.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the people of Reddit just get the experience that I've had pre-Reddit. But yeah, it's no matter what the situation is, it's just everyone's got to have that one mate that can just straight up tell you nah, dude, you definitely did the wrong thing. Yeah.
Gotta tell you the truth, can't lie to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the long term, it's better than just yeah. And the other thing too is it's all encompassing because it's not just I went to you for advice. I also would get you to read shit because I'm bad at comprehension. So it's just Reddit is reading and advice, Reddit advice. It's all in one thing. It's all the things that I needed you to help me with in one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reading thing at school. So if anyone remembers when, I don't actually think they do this in schools now, even I think for this exact reason, because for people like me that can't read for shit, reading does help get better at reading, right? But if you're not good at reading, I tell you what doesn't make you get better at it.
Reading out loud to a classroom.
Exactly. With the pressure. It's just you want to learn to drive a car? Well, we're just going to put you in Bathurst 1000, but you're just going to be in a non-race car, and you're just going to be there while everyone's trying to race, doing your own thing. That was me. So, yeah, I remember we'd always sit next to each other and, it would come to my turn to read and I'd be, counting the paragraphs, before and know which one I was going to land on. It's a paragraph each. So I'd, pre-read it, get halfway through, fuck it up, and just be and take it away, Jack. Like I was like an MC for your reading. Like I was the warm-up act. Like, all right, I'll read the first sentence, and away we go.
And away we go. Well, I liked reading.
You did read a lot. I listen to audiobooks now.
I haven't listened to an audiobook as well recently.
Yeah.
Have you listened to The Lord of the Rings by Andy Serkis?
No.
Andy Serkis goes hard.
I can only imagine actually trying to read it would be fucking a lot less immersive for me, because I would spend longer trying to like read it than live it.
Andy Serkis, he does a different voice for every character, and he gets right into it. He's the guy who played Gollum and Smeagol, and he's been in a bunch of mocap stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and big Lord of the Rings fan. So when he gets on the voice thingy, he goes hard.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, like listening to it, you're like, oh yeah, you're right in there.
It's so refreshing when the audiobook isn't just an afterthought. Like they actually put time into it. Over my time list, I've listened to probably about 30 audiobooks over the last 3 months. And yeah, I really go through them because I finally caught up on all my podcasts. So now, like, I just listen to new episodes of podcasts, and when I have no new podcasts to listen to, I just listen to like another few chapters of the audiobook that I'm listening to at the time.
Yeah.
And I've listened to a couple that were just like, like they didn't sort of when they wrote the book, it wasn't like with the thought that it would also be an audiobook. So I think sometimes when people write a book and they know there's going to be an audio version, they will also like take that in consideration when writing it. So they'll make it easier for like, for quoting people's voices and stuff like that, like so that the person reading the book can actually have the foresight to like change their voice for that character or whatever. But yeah, and
some people just they phone it in. Like some of the voice actors are good, but some of them are just like they dramatic reading. They're just reading it. They don't dramatic reading. They're just reading it in general. You know what I'm saying? They're just droning on.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of change in tone, not a lot
editing,
of voices.
You can hear editing in it. Like there'll be like a word that they fuck up, and you just hear like the tone changes in their voice.
Whereas like the Andy Serkis voice, he gets like real into it. In fast paced ones, he's going at the microphone. He's like and then slow things, he slows down. He starts talking and. You can tell, like, he's put a lot of effort into matching the tone of the book.
Yeah, okay.
Very exciting book.
That is cool. And I think also sometimes authors are not necessarily the right person to read their own book. Although it is cool sometimes to hear the person reading their own words because it's natural. Like, I like that when it's, like, autobiographies and shit.
Yeah.
But I read I mostly listened to like autobiographies and like crime stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I find that sometimes the author isn't always the best person to read their own book unless it's like an autobiography. But there was one where the dude there was not the guy that wrote the book, but the audio book was read by this dude that was like changing the voice, but slightly for different people in the book. And I remember there's one bit in there where he's like describing a sex scene, but he like puts on the voice of the chick to like try and like add some pizzazz to it. It's just so funny because it's just this like raspy voiced dude just going like, she's just like, lay me down in the grass, and then he just keeps reading, but he's got that same dude's voice, and He's just like, nah, I'd prefer it on the picnic blanket. Like, it's like, what the fuck? This dude just fucking reading both characters in the book, but he's doing the higher pitch for the chick. It's like, sounds more like he's mocking her.
Not a great voice actor then.
Yeah. Yeah. There is one particular voice actor that does a lot of the, like, crime related. He did Chopper Reed's books, and he did like a few other like, kind of that underworld, sort of like underbelly figures, stories on those, and they were pretty good. It's so funny when you're just sitting there, living your best life, just fucking like at work, listening to like Chopper Reed's book about how he, would like intimidate people and like bash people in jail and all this shit, and you're just like doing your fucking job while you're just listening to like stories that are like brutal. There was a really fucked up bit in that book. Chopper Reed in his book had a bit about they were going to like just like brand this dude on the wrist, but they heated up the iron so much as like an intimidation thing that they just went straight through
his wrist.
Because there's like mostly in that section is in the wrist section is held together with more like it's more heavily reliant on like muscle and that sort of shit. Like the bone is just really like encased by all the like shit that holds it together.
Yeah,
and he must have just got it in like the right spot, like on the joint, and just straight through. But it like instantly cauterized it. So the dude like
lightsabered his hand off.
Yeah, but this is the best part about it. They then had to act like they like weren't shocked by it, like because they're trying to intimidate this dude. So like, yeah, and we'll do the other one too. Holy fuck, you all right? Yeah. Yeah, there's some pretty good stories. I heard that some of the content from audiobook, like so there's people that have done like a whole series of a podcast on one audiobook, just because of how much is crammed in, like a movie, right? You watch a movie. One scene the time it takes you to watch that one scene is like a split second, but to describe that scene in a book could be a whole chapter if you wanted it to be.
Yeah, for sure. I've just woken up. I got no responses.
Yeah, so this is fucking good. Do you remember? So when we were in high school, the library had all of its favorite sections, right? Like,
yeah.
Like you had your fantasy section, and like I remember even like, I remember that you were like basically just working your way through.
Yeah.
Or like you basically were trying to read the whole library by the end of school.
Never succeeded. No, too many.
You would have got some good reads out of it though. There was some decent books there.
Yeah.
And especially I used to love about halfway, anyone listening to this that still goes to Maria High School or whatever, there's like a section there where like there's encyclopedias that were like from the 90s, so you just pull out like something and just open it up and be like, I remember when we thought that was the most current information. To be fair, there's computers right next to that now, so like they're more of just an aesthetic. Or there's like the photography book with the tits in it. Everyone's just like fucking like, all right, like you get some like senior kid would just be like, all right, go over to the photography section. There's a little blue book. It's A5 size, not very thick, maybe like 40 pages. Page 23. thank me later. Just like like a side boob with a bit of nip.
And you're like, yes.
Fuck yeah.
Well, this was pre-internet. We're all pretty excited by Eddie boobs.
Yeah.
These days, it's like, if I want that, just Google, done.
Yeah, exactly. Then there's like the National Geographic with like the random fucking like you just open it up and like world titties. I'm a man of the world now.
A man of culture.
I see you're a man of culture. Oh fuck yeah. I remember what I was getting to was there was a few good fantasy books there, and one of the guys a couple years older was like this particular author just for the fuck of it, just like read like the first bit of one of his books and just listen to how he describes things. He had a whole chapter that started like this. So, like, not word for word, but he says that he walks outside and he sees that there's only, like, one leaf left on the tree, like, in autumn. It's, like, the final leaf to fall. It's how, like, in Bug's Life, they knew the grasshoppers were coming. And, not really, but that's how they know. I like Bug's Life. Hit me with any Bug's Life trivia, I'll fucking... Anyway, I'll be... If Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was only Bug's Life question, dude, I'd fucking be a millionaire.
Bug's Life was good, but I'm more about Ants, man. Ants was awesome. Yeah,
also it accurately described, like, our dynamic in high school. You're, like, the strong dude, and I was, like, the other ant.
I liked the strong dude.
Yeah.
It was fun.
He, like, saves the dude's ass. Oh, but then he gets his head.
He saves the entire colony. He picks up the entire colony. Remember that at the end?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's just genetics, dude, you know?
Just got to pick up the entire colony.
They're just, yeah. The when they're born, they're assigned, like, worker or soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how would you know whether they... Maybe it isn't genetics. Like, they just... get stronger if they become a soldier.
Just feed them the right
Feed
stuff.
them more. Yeah. They'll
Special training regimen.
Wait, they don't gangbang the Queen, do they?
No.
No, like obviously not in the kids movie, but in real life, right? The Queen has like a specific few that she only mates with. Is that?
No. They only need to
You're
mate
the
once.
ant guy, yeah.
They only really need to mate once. They've got a special organ inside their body that holds the sperm for the rest of their lives.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They only mate once. All their children are all female, except when it comes time for nuptial flights, is what they call them, where they have the male ones and the female, like, new royals, and then they fly off.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Bug talk.
I actually know a lot about ants.
That's your trains.
It is. Ants is my trains. I'm an ant guy. Freaking love ants.
What's your favourite species?
It's called the sugar ant here in Australia. I think its actual term is the banded carpenter ant. It's a big one. It's about big.
The one with the brown legs.
Yeah, brown body, but black head and black. What's the butt called? It's not the abdomen. I think it's the thorax. One of those.
Okay.
Anyway, black head and black butt, but brown middle, and it's a big ant.
Yeah.
And it's quite friendly. Very rarely bites.
Good eating?
No, they don't taste like sugar at all. They just really like sugary treats.
Oh, fuck. Like me.
Yeah.
I don't taste like sugar, I just like it.
Exactly. They're a good ant. Interesting ant.
So, because I remember this started, like, well before I met you. The fascination of, like, ants and insects and shit.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the first times I ever, like, had a proper conversation with you It was when you were like trying to capture antliners.
Oh, antlines. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
antlines.
those things.
Well, it's where you just like they have like because I thought that in the sand it was like where rain droplets had fallen like off a gutter or something and created like a little dip in the sand.
Yeah.
Turns out there's a thing in that.
Yeah, some of them are for raindrops, but some of the ones that are like either bigger or just they look really too smooth will often have the little dude in them.
Dude,
I call them little dudes. They're actually.
this guy's not fucking human.
I think I read the other day that they're a nymph. They're not a nymph, a larvae stage.
Okay.
Like they actually turn into something
They
else.
evolve.
Yeah, but the thing they turn into sucks and it dies quickly. But the little version is like, an excellent killer of things.
Yeah, yeah.
And it stays as that for like years and years and years and years, and then it turns into the other thing for like 1 week and it dies.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, no, but the small stage, that thing is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny as
The
fuck.
antline, such
So,
a cool
like,
thing.
how bad would it suck if you're like, I'm living a good life. This is like everything's going so good. They probably don't have like minds like that. But like, imagine if they thought like us. They're just sitting in me hole waiting for something to walk past my little trap that I made. Like, it's so funny to think that insects have like a human thought pattern. They're like, fuck, it's like, it takes me forever to walk from here to there. But that human just does it in one step. Like, they don't think like that. They just focus on... I think ants have autism. They're just very task-orientated, and they don't deviate from that.
They are very task-orientated. One of the... Ants are probably like the least selfish animal in existence. They will happily give up their lives for the rest of the colony.
Yeah.
Bees are similar. Bees like... they'll defend the colony, they'll stab you and then die. They're like, it's worth it.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, bees. But wasps, they're selfish. They like...
Oh, so wasps are arseholes.
yeah, they're the arseholes of the wasps are like, am I the arsehole? I
Yes, you are. Yes, you are wasps. I mean, they're very cool, but they're arseholes.
Yeah. I think that the only reason that we're not like the reason that other things aren't at the top of the chain is because we're just like so fucking smart compared to everything else. But when you like break it down, like from like a biological level, we're fucking so shit compared to like a lot of animals.
That's actually interesting though, because humans have one advantage over every other animal. We are the best marathon runners on the planet. We cannot be beaten. We will outpace anything over a distance. Back in our ancestors' times, the way we'd often, when we're hunting, is we'd just run the thing down until it got tired. Eventually they get tired and they give up, and we'd just outpace them forever. They still do this in certain parts of the world. They have, I remember reading about the other day, a marathon where it's people versus horses.
Wow.
And then it's like, I think it's like 30 miles or so.
Yeah.
And it's bloody close. And oftentimes the people win. And these are like modern humans. They're not as fit or as strong as our ancestor humans.
Yeah.
Imagine those Neanderthal dudes will run 14 hours a day. And it's just because of the way our bodies are built. We disperse heat really well. So we don't overheat like a lot of other animals when we're running. We can just keep a jog going for literally hours on hours on hours, and we will outpace just about anything on the planet. Persistence. We are the best persistent runners on the planet.
Maybe it's because we like have foresight to like know that there's a goal.
Oh, that could be part of it too.
Like, we know that if we keep doing this, it will like be rewarded. Whereas most other animals just rely on like instant decisions. Like, I need to just escape danger without any thought of long game.
So they probably burn themselves up too early, you reckon?
Yeah.
Like a deer would be like, oh shit, run quickly, overheat. 10 minutes later, the humans are back on top of them, and they're like, oh shit, run again.
For those
10 minutes later, the humans back on top of them.
For those listening to the audio version, Jack did the Terminator 2 Liquid Metal Man run.
No, actually, thank you for bringing that up. I love the story behind that. Okay, so Terminator 2, that guy, I can't remember his name.
It was the T-1000. Yeah. That's his full name.
The actor. When they were filming it, there's a scene when they're in the underground parking lot, right? And John jumps on a motorbike and rides off.
Yeah.
That actor kept catching him. He was too fast.
Oh.
They had to ask him to slow down. He's actually a fantastic sprinter.
Fuck.
And they're like, you gotta slow down because the motorbike can't outpace you.
Oh,
John can't. He'd run him down and they'd have to refilm it.
Oh shit! So he literally was like, they said like overkill.
Yeah, they're like you gotta sprint, you gotta run as hard as you can and chase after him. He's like, okay, cool. Fucking caught him.
That's so fucked, dude. That means that now the machines know that, and they know that, like, when they do actually have to go back and kill John Connor, that, like, that dude can do it.
That dude can do it.
The actual actor
Yeah, the actual
now becomes a target for really actually becoming a Terminator, because they like
we want this
yeah
guy.
we heard that you played as someone that like could do this,
Yeah.
and we know you can outrun a motorbike. So the like fucking Skynet already knows now that dude. Oh, we just ruined that guy's life.
No, that dude is a cool
I'll tell you
dude.
another cool fact about that movie. So later in the movie, I love Terminator 2. I got like a bunch of
Great movie.
Yeah. One of the best sequels ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's a scene when they're busting Sarah Connor out of the nut house.
Yeah, yeah.
And she snaps the key off in the lock, so they can't like get through.
Yeah.
And he's like approaching them, and everyone's like trying to get through, but the key's been snapped off, and the dude's like panicking.
Yeah.
Well, then like Liquid Metal Dude, he like walks up to it and just like goes through the bars. That's actually improv. It was meant to be open, but he's like, I'm a Liquid Metal Dude, I can just go through it, and they left it in the final scene.
No, you bloody well did it. You had me going there for a sec. I was like, oh, yeah. And then, like, he just went through it. I'm like, no.
He's like, wait, I'm a Liquid Metal Dude. Keep rolling. I'll just go through the fucking thing.
I would have believed he'd walked into the bars just like,
How funny would have it been to try and film that? Like, they're just like, all right, push your face up as hard as you can.
yeah.
We'll let the computer do the rest. No, but there's so many good little like bits from that. I tried to find like not main characters from that movie to like see if I can like get them to do my podcast.
Yeah.
I had a sad realization. Most of the actors from the bikie bar at the start are dead now. Literally, like, that was all their first big movie, and they're all, like, passed away between the last 10 and 15 years.
Yeah, well, the movie is bloody old now.
91?
91? Yeah.
Yeah. So, but a lot of those dudes were, like...
already in their 50s and 60s. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And 90s, 50s too. So that's like a modern 65.
Yeah, that's true. Because back in the 90s, a lot of smoking, a lot of alcohol.
Especially,
your body be falling apart.
Especially if you have the aesthetic that could be chosen to play as like the dude in a bikie bar.
Yeah, you're going to look rough.
Yeah. So the guy that put the cigar out on him at the start died like 3 years later.
Oh, wow.
The guy with the shotgun, can't let you take the man's wheels, son, died in like 2013. Yeah. But there is hope. I was like, oh, I know who I can get as the, try and climb the ladder to get on the, like a video call on the podcast. You know the ginger friend?
Yeah.
But it turns out he was like a child actor before that movie. So he's like actually one of the few people where Terminator 2 wasn't necessarily his biggest movie because he was in like a full like TV series when he was a kid growing up.
Yeah.
So a lot of people recognize him from that as well. Yeah, I've got a John Connor shirt actually.
You were wearing it yesterday.
Yeah, I have a specific. It's not a Terminator 2 shirt. It's a John Connor shirt.
Yeah.
And they put so much attention to detail into it that even the tag says she's not my mother, Todd. Like that's just all that the tag says on it. And then underneath is the washing instructions. Like they're just every down to the last detail has like quotes from the movie on it.
That's pretty awesome.
I like when people put time and effort into something they produce, unlike this fucking podcast. So, speaking of some actual production value, because I think it's been a great warm up conversation so far. How you feeling? You feeling more awake? You ready to go?
Actually, I'm about to sneeze.
Okay.
Smash cut. Done. Do you have a tissue right here? Box of tissues?
No, I'll just get you one. Right here. We're not
We're just gonna cut all this out, or leave it. Hey podcast, just you and me now. He's gone. How you been? Been good? I missed you. Welcome back.
No one's ever far from a box of tissues. And there's a bin right there.
Thank you, my man.
No, it's featured now.
It's me.
No, we just smash cut back and there's a box of tissues. And we're back.
No, right. All right. You had something on your phone to show me. Resync. 3, 2, clap.
I didn't stop recording.
Smart.
All right. Mm-hmm. As promised, we have some Am I the Asshole questions. And also, we can let this tangent a little bit because I have some side notes that I want to make while we read the questions.
Yep.
So, I have one here called Am I the Asshole for expecting my date to cover the cleaning costs of a dress he ruined?
Interesting.
Very interesting lead-in. I, 27 female, am in a bit of a dilemma and could really use some advice. Mm-hmm. I've been seeing a guy for a couple of months and we decided to go to a nice high-end restaurant for a date. Initially, I was going to wear a nice dark blue dress that I like to wear out, but he asked me to wear a different white dress that I had shown him once as it matched his outfit.
Okay.
Already, I've never had a guy ask me this, she added in brackets.
Yeah.
I already am a bit preemptive about that decision to ask, can you wear this? Like, I like to match when I go out with people, like with my partners over the years and my fiance now. We do like to coordinate our shit because it's fun to wear similar sort of matching shit. You know? Yeah. It's good to also look like a couple.
Yeah.
We've been together for years. This is months. It seems a little bit possessive, in my opinion.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanted to match, he should match to her blue dress.
Absolutely.
and surprise her with it. Like, oh, look, we're back.
And that leads into the next part.
Okay, go for it.
Because it also points out the practicality of wearing white when you go out, which, if you remember the title, continue. The white dress in question was a gift from my late grandmother and was quite expensive. So I was reluctant but agreed and just asked that we didn't go anywhere after where I might spill something on it or otherwise mess it up. He mentioned clubbing to risk messing the... He mentioned clubbing after dinner, which is why I said that I didn't want to risk messing it up. And he said that we could go out for dinner and then I could change before doing anything else. So already that's a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah, this dude's being a pain.
I think that there's another couple of bits, but I'm going to jump in here as well, do like a dissection as I read it.
Yeah.
To just lay out my initial thoughts as I read it. I think that this Redditor is already being too, like, accommodating. Like, instead of just being like, look, it's a pain in the ass to wear the thing that you want me to wear because we're going to then have to go get changed. I'm going to be worried about spilling shit on it the whole time. Can't we just fucking, you wear your blue shirt instead of your white one so we match with that?
Yeah,
at
exactly.
This point.
Yeah, for sure.
But so far, it's not a fucking disaster. However, the evening took a turn for the worse when he accidentally spilled his red wine all over the dress. He had gotten an unexpected call, and when he tried to quickly mute his ringer, it sounds like a sex act. Yeah, dude, she fucking muted me ringer. His elbow hit the glass and spilled it all over the lap area of my dress before I could react. It was completely drenched and stained. He was unapologetic at the time and tried to be cool about it, but inside I was devastated, especially because I had mentioned specifically how I wanted to be careful wearing it. Later, I mentioned to him that the dress was very expensive and asked if he'd be willing to help with the cost of cleaning and or replacing it. I feel like the person that spilled the wine is just hoping that, like, that question doesn't come up. You know how, like, some people are just like, oh, if I don't offer to pay for it and she doesn't ask, then fucking... So I think that this Redditor has done the right thing in, like, actually bringing it up. Like, so I'm probably going to have to get this cleaned. What do you want to do about that?
Yeah.
To my surprise, he got quite defensive. He argued that it was an accident and that I was being unreasonable for expecting him to pay for something like that. And that it was my fault for wearing it knowing that it could have happened.
Oh, no. Nope. Nope. That dude's an asshole.
So the last bit. I feel like it's a matter of principle. Yes, it was an accident, but the dress is ruined, and it was extremely sentimental to me, not to mention a valuable dress. He thinks I'm being materialistic and making a big deal out of nothing. Now I'm not sure how to feel about this reaction. Am I the arsehole for expecting him to cover the cost?
No, absolutely not. That dude's an asshole. Like, there are levels to that. Alright, number one, he was being super weird and possessive and controlling and deciding what she could wear, right? Number one, that's a red flag. Number two, like, he could have easily just worn a blue shirt.
Yeah.
you know.
For $100, which is the cleaning cost, he could have bought a shirt and kept it after.
Yeah. Is the clean cost only 100?
She mentioned that it was about $100.
Well, then bloody hell, pay the fucking cleaning cost. Yeah, and like, the guy's an a-hole.
I have two things I want to add to this.
Go for it.
And a conclusion to sum up my thoughts. I'm with you on that so far. I have something to add, though. I feel like some of these feelings were not conveyed back to the dude adequately. Like, I feel like it was just like, like it wasn't like hesitant externally. Like internally it was like, I don't know, it's my grandma's thing, but she just was like a pleaser and just wanted to be like, yeah, sure, I'll wear that. Like, you know, it's going to be a bit of a hassle. I've got to go get changed. But like, it totally matches your outfit. Like, just trying to like, I'm going to just like fucking take the leap and just diagnose here some I feel like early in the relationship, this Redditor is scared to set a bad impression. So like is a little bit over compensating for like wanting to be everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
So I think first point is I don't think some of those concerns were like conveyed adequately, which is also why the reaction was kind of like making a big deal out of this, because all the like pre-thought wasn't conveyed back, like the dilemma that was going on in the head before that.
Yeah, definitely. We don't really know how hard she conveyed. It didn't really mention it in the thing. But like, if the dress was that sentimental, you could have put your foot down.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's 3 months in a relationship. If he's gonna be a psycho about it, then forget about it.
Yeah,
just ditch him. But yeah, like, he's an asshole. She should have put her foot down, basically.
Yeah.
That dude.
So the second part that I wanted to mention was, and basically my conclusion. Do you know what? Because we all have clumsy moments.
Always.
Who the fuck doesn't have their phone on silent all the time? What a psycho.
Yeah.
Already. Like, I'm basing this whole thing on the fact that fucking weirdo uses his ringer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What are you, fucking Iron Man? No one needs someone that desperately that you need to hear your phone ring. Just
that's true.
Get a missed call, call the person back like a normal person.
Yeah.
If you're at fucking dinner,
keep it on silent.
but guess what? I haven't taken my phone off silent in a long time.
Nope.
I feel like the default is silent.
Yeah.
And when I go to like dinner or a movie, it's on to like do not disturb mode.
Yeah.
That's the fucking normal thing to do.
That's the protocol.
You know, I didn't self. I've still yet to do that. I'm diagnosing some dependency issues here, like the pleasing thing. But also I'm going to say, this dude, fucking ego, I reckon. Because he like all important with his fucking phone on loud.
Yeah.
We all know that fuckhead in the restaurant that has his phone on loud that drinks red wine. Fuck off.
Yeah. And he has
She's
to have
27. Like, who the fuck drinks? Anyway.
Yeah, and he's probably, it's like, his nice shirt, his nice outfit,
He's got money. That's why she's trying to be accommodating for him.
Yeah, he's definitely got money.
Yeah.
He's got his phone on. He's probably in business or something. He's probably a work phone.
Some business fuck. We unpacked this shit. That dude is definitely like some Wall Street type dude. Wolf of Wall Street wannabe cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got his...
In reality, he's like a crypto bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And that explains the like entitlement as well. Like, you just wear that other, like, how about you wear that fucking dress I know that matches my shirt? Like, the entitlement of just being like, I'm the breadwinner here. But then he was a stingy cunt when it comes to paying for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Because he acts like he has money, but he doesn't.
That is literally the full breakdown of it. And the conclusion. What do you think? That's good? I think we solved her problems.
Yeah. She needs to stand up for himself, and he's an asshole.
I'll just post the link on the Reddit thing.
Yeah.
All right. So, and for once in my life, I took the long one. I'm giving you the shorter one.
Oh.
This is am I the asshole? Question.
Am I the arsehole for wanting my stepdaughter's friend to go home? So my 16 female stepdaughter has had her friend over for 4 days. I wasn't even consulted about the length of her stay in the first place. I asked my husband on the 3rd day, when is she going home? He said tomorrow maybe, I don't know. So the 4th day comes around and I asked him again. He says, I don't know, I'll have to ask my daughter. I just simply stated to him that I would like her to go now it's been 4 days. I feel like it's been long enough to stay and that she should go. He said that it's up to his daughter when she leaves. I said, no, it is up to us, the parents. So he leaves to the garage and I go about my day. He comes back in less than 5 minutes to argue with me about it. I just say that I've had enough of the visit and that 4 days is enough. We argue for like 5 minutes and then he leaves for at least 2 to 2.5 hours. So I out for a walk. I'm guessing she meant to say I go out for a walk in the conservation area near our home, and he comes to find me and tell me that the girl overheard our conversation and left in a taxi when his daughter got home from work. Both of my stepdaughters have been going back and forth to work for at least 3 of the days that the friend has been here, so now my husband won't have anything to do with me. Interesting. Interesting.
Here's initial thoughts. You tell me yours.
Well, there's stepdaughters and they're 16 years old, right? She hasn't mentioned how long she's been married to the dude, but I'm guessing not long. Because if this is the first time this has popped up.
Yeah.
And she's 16 and they have their own jobs, right?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing she's right to be annoyed and being able to say something about it. But if the daughters isn't, like, there's 2 stepdaughters. We don't know how big the house is, but I'm going to guess pretty large if they can have another person over.
And a garage.
Yeah, and the garage. So
Near a nature reserve.
Near a nature reserve, yeah. So we got 2 daughters, both of them teenagers with their own jobs, right? And a father who... He's a single father, not anymore. He remarried. Right. I'm guessing this isn't the first time they've had friends over for long periods of time.
Oh.
And that their friends have probably stayed with the daughters in their own room, and they probably have their own food because they're teenagers. I can see why she's annoyed, and she had the right to talk about it. But she definitely shouldn't have argued about it where anyone can hear.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all had that one friend.
Who stays over for too long. Absolutely.
Does not fuck off.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's not even her house, really.
Yeah. But do you know what you do when you talk about that person?
Go somewhere else.
You do these ones. You look over your fucking shoulder and you're like, all right, Jack, how should I go about this? Because this fucking guy, I tell you what, like, he was here for 4 days last time. It's 2 days, but I know that he's trying to beat his previously set record. But also, the worst thing, and I found like a really common reoccurring trait with a lot of people that do that.
Usually have shitty homes.
Well, obviously you're not going to trade down.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be like, oh, so you're going to go back to your mansion? No, they're not going to. They don't have. If they had a mansion, they wouldn't be like wasting your milk. And so, using your toothpaste, using your public flow. Nice. So, public flow. So, that is nice. So, they are always either choose this, or it's like a personality disorder, are completely fucking unaware of how much they're inconveniencing everyone around them. Have you ever just seen that person that's like not aware of themselves? They're just like completely like being like an asshole or in the way or whatever. And they're just like, oh yeah, like I didn't know that I was pissing you off. Like, you didn't think that just fucking like being at someone's house for 4 days would piss them off?
Yeah. I've met people like that.
I've had situations like that.
Yeah.
I've looked back at something in hindsight. When we were kids, I'll tell you a quick story. When we were kids, a friend of ours had a pool. Mm-hmm. And every time we would go there, it would be for like they would be like, oh, tell your kids to bring the swimmers. We're having a barbecue on Saturday. We went there on a random fucking like Tuesday because Dad needed to pick something up. But as a kid, the Pavlovian response, I bought my fucking swimmers because I'm like, hey, we're going to that person's house. And every time I've gone there, we've had a swim. We pull up out the front of the house. I'm like, Dad, can you open the boot? And he's like, what for? And I'm like, I just need to grab my swimmers. Dad was like, mate, we're just dropping in real quick to grab something. We're not there to swim.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I would have been the asshole. And like in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, anyway. But, you know, that wasn't a fucking tell that maybe I'm on the spectrum. He's fine. Like, if I had a kid that was just like, oh, we're going to that dude's house, let me grab my swimmers. So like, we might need to get that checked. But yeah, which is why I said personality disorder, because sometimes people that like are in the spectrum don't realize that they're like putting people out.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, back to the thing.
Yeah.
You always just have those conversations in private. I always have my like initial thoughts just based on the information, and then I have what I call my Hail Mary play, which is like I just fully diagnose exactly like why this whole thing, the underlying issue.
Right.
Do you want to hear my Hail Mary?
Sure.
American Beauty.
You reckon it's an American Beauty scenario?
Dad's got a crush on the fucking on the daughter's friend.
Interesting.
Like a creepy fucking, hopefully never does anything about it, but just like the mere presence is a fantasy because he's a weird fuck.
Right. But then why would the girl want to hang around for 4 days around the creepy dude?
Because she's like a 16-year-old fucking lamb to the slaughter and doesn't realize that like the dad's a fucking predator. She's like, oh, Mr. Jessup's really nice, or whatever the guy is.
Yeah, he's got money in our fictional scenario.
Yeah,
he has a nice house.
Such a nice place, better than my deadbeat parents. I'm never going back to that house.
Yeah.
He even like, you know, lets me fucking swim in his pool. I brought my swimmers around. No, that's my Hail Mary play. I reckon that's why he's like defensive about it, because he's just like, nah, that you think she's hot. Like, I didn't say that. You know, like, that's my Hail Mary play.
Here's what I reckon it is. This is it. I reckon she's newly married into the group, right? And she's trying to establish some sort of authority. Like, because that was the crux of the argument that it's the parents' decision when the children are moved, when the guest goes home.
Yeah.
We don't know the living arrangements, but for all we know, the daughters who have their own jobs, and this girl probably has her own job, are feeding themselves. They're staying out of her way. She probably never even... There's a good chance she never even sees them. This could be a establishing dominance thing. New to the family. This is how it should be.
Feels inadequate.
Maybe, yeah, as well. Like this is, I'm the mother of the house. I'm the parent. It's like,
Yeah.
you're not the parent.
There's always going to be that dynamic with step parents, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to play out a scenario. I'm the 16-year-old daughter. You're the mum. Tell me to leave.
I'm not telling the daughter to leave. The friend.
The friend. Yeah, go.
Hey, sweetie, how you doing?
What do you want?
Already coming hard. I just noticed that Stacy's been here for the past couple of days. When is she heading off?
Oh, we haven't really set a date.
I haven't really said it. Okay, is she planning on paying rent because we're running a little bit low on utilities here?
Oh, I thought that it's like you knew the dude you fucking was paying for that.
No, sweetie, that's your father, okay? And I'm your mother now. You can't speak to me that way. This is getting weird.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. I thought that you were my mum and he was the stepdad. Yeah, no, my dad. Yeah. I don't know. Like, are you paying rent or how are you staying here? Because you're kind of a guest in our house as well.
Oof. Oof. She's been the stepmother is frozen in terror. Just loses it, screams, leaves.
Uses flee.
Runs to the dad. Your daughter just said these things to me.
How funny is that? Like, play though.
Yeah.
I thought but you're kind of like a guest here too. Oh fuck! What a funny way to fucking wrap that one up.
Yeah, destruction.
Yeah. No, I reckon. Here's my we've said this in the past. It's Jackell and Hyde. You've got your Hyde response and your Jackell response. My cool, calm, collected response to this, all jokes aside, is literally just. I think that the father needs to be more receptive to a constructive conversation instead of just blowing up about
absolutely
it and just being all right, so what would you think is the best way to handle this, or what?
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way?
Yeah, have a conversation about it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Away from prying ears.
I tell you what, probably won't really help. Posting it on Reddit and then reread it and then we break it down and that doesn't help. It helps us. It doesn't help really. That person didn't get much.
She needs to communicate.
Except for every fucking problem we've ever looked into has always had an underlying issue of you just need to communicate better.
Yeah, communication.
It's the key, isn't it?
Communication is the key. Relationships don't work if people don't communicate. Or you can, but there's always going to be underlying resentment that you didn't say something.
Yeah.
And it will fester. If you never say something, it's going to fester. It won't go away on its own.
Yeah.
It will slowly bubble under the surface until you hit a breaking point.
And that's why you're Dr. Jackell and I'm Marky Hyde.
Marky Hyde, Dr. Jackell.
Because you got the cool, calm, collected, and I've got the
deranged response.
And I've got but you're like a guest in the house.
That poor mother.
Yeah, I know.
And we're assuming they haven't been married long. For all we know, they've been married for 15 years. And
Yeah,
then,
but that kind of behaviour is either at the start of the relationship or the fucking the rough end of a relationship.
Exactly,
that kind of behaviour is something you either do early on when you haven't learned how to communicate, or at the end where you've tried everything and you're fucking given up on communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wraps up the episode. That's our
sweet.
that's our final bit on the show. Another episode of Advice with Dr. Jackell and Marky Hyde. That is nice.
Yeah, dog, this is nice.
So thanks everyone for tuning in, and make sure you check it out. Check out my website, markycomedy.com. Buy some merch, be a sick cunt, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.
See you, everybody.
Don't buy me a drink. Just name names. Yeah, right. Big time. Fucking throwing out a strip club with your floppy disk.
Yeah, you got a big beard, dude.
Shame for shit all day.
Me and my best friend, Marky Worthington.
Keep it simple. Count your money.
That they're not proud of.
Just give me $10.
Hey, right?
Click.
Did you hang up?
No, I just said click.